On number 10 for Michigan State.
Yeah, I got to crowd his left hand. That's for sure. He's quick. He's got his dad's quickness, mom's ability to shoot, so he's a pretty complete player.
What's this going to be like? I mean, are you excited just kind of be on the same court?
Yeah, I'm excited to see him tonight. Obviously we don't get enough time in this business to spend with our families, so to have Jack home, I think they'll get in probably a little bit later. But hopefully we'll be able to get him home for dinner. I tried to call into Izzo's radio show the other night, but they didn't answer. I was going to be Bob from Saginaw, and I had a good question for him, but they didn't answer.
What's the family dynamic going to be like? You guys going to be in red, or are they going to be in green?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I think Carol's pretty torn about what she's going to wear. The twins better wear red, and my parents, I'm sure, one will wear green and one will wear red.
You obviously have a good relationship with Coach Izzo.
Yeah.
What's it going to be the keys of going against Michigan State and him? Because obviously you've spent time with that program and going into what they like to do.
Yeah, it's, I think the world of Coach Izzo for everything that he's accomplished, the type of person that he is first and foremost, how down to earth he is. It's so fun to be a part of that journey that they had last year to the Final Four, winning both Big Ten championships, regular season and conference tournament. In that game against Duke was one of the greatest college basketball games I've ever seen. With Zion and all their first-round draft picks they had, and just to see the way that Michigan State kept going through all the adversity that they had and the injuries that they had a year ago. So, it was a fun thing to be able to spend time, not only with the coaches, but also spend time with Jack and the family. I think I'd accepted the job the day before that game in Washington, D.C. last year, but it was really cool moment with our family to be able to spend with Jack as they made that Final Four run.
What are you expecting out of the point guard play between Cam and Cassius?
Yeah, it's going to be a very high-level matchup. Cassius is just so relentless with his push and with his pace. It's unlike anything we've seen this year. We can talk about it till we're blue in the face, show them all the film, but it's hard to simulate until you actually get out in front of it and see it. And the transition defense obviously has to be on point. We have to be able to get back and load and get a high hand on him wherever he is. He's just going to keep the ball in his hands. He and Tillman are great in the two-man game, and offensive rebounds obviously is where coaches those teams have made a living since he's been at Michigan State. So those are going to be two huge things: getting back and finding a way to get bodies, physical cutouts, and rebound the basketball.
They were the preseason favorite to win, and they kind of dropped a couple late. What do you make of their season and kind of where they're at?
Yeah, it's still an unbelievably talented team that I think will be there right at the end. They're too talented. And, when you look at Coach Izzo's teams, they have these little setbacks for the season. I think he likes it. I think he likes the adversity that they have to handle. And generally they right the ship heading into tournament time. They've had some really close losses against some great teams. And, that's this league. It's just such a grind. Every time you step on the floor, you're going to be in a battle. And, there's so many good teams, and that's a couple of those losses that they've had. But, they're still, in my mind, a team that's going to have an opportunity to win a national championship. They've got a lot of experience, losing, two of those players, Kenny Goins and Matt McQuaid, those are two seniors that provided great leadership. I don't think they anticipated the injury to Josh Langford. He's obviously a huge part of what they were going to be this season, and then I think they thought they were going to get Joey Hauser eligible. So, there's been some adversity, but they're fighting through it, and, again, still a team that's going to be, in my opinion, right there at the end.
Tom's a guy that will call new coaches in the league during the season and talk. Has he called you this season, or have you talked to him?
No, he hasn't called me. You know what? I text with Tom some over the course of the season, but he's, again, just the time I spent with him last year was one of the most valuable that I've had in my career. Just seeing what everything's all about, see the day-to-day operations, see the behind the scenes and what they do. Being able to stand up and go on the chalkboard and drop different ideas. They've put in a couple actions that I showed them last year that were key. So I think I was kind of the unsung hero in that Final Four run last year.
I read somewhere Jack maybe considered transferring here last year. Did you encourage him one way or the other, or how did that?
I told Jack to follow his heart, and he's put so much work into that Michigan State program, and for him, I think going into this, he thought he might have an opportunity to get out there some. So to play on the preseason number one team in the country, to stay a part of that, I thought was very important for him, and he agreed with that. People I think sometimes don't understand how much time you have to put in to be in a walk-on the scout team. You look at our guys with Delano and Derek, with Jace and Brett and Shamil right now. Those guys put so much time in. They're here an hour before putting in the other team's plays. Jack takes a lot of pride in that, pushing Cassius. He'll send me his film clips. He was Carson Edwards last year, and he was just going off. It was so much fun to see. But, he's a big part of that thing, and I know Izzo really appreciates what Jack brings to the program. Those players do as well.
How's the health of the team after all the illness and some of the injuries you've gone through recently?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. We still got some guys with some residual effects from the illnesses, but everybody practiced today, made it through, so hopefully we're in good shape heading into tomorrow.
Hey Fred, how big of a deal is this? I mean, can you put in perspective just being on the opposite bench as your son?
Yeah, I don't. It's just something. I honestly don't know. I've never experienced anything like this. I don't think many people have. So it's going to be. I think Jack said this yesterday. He asked me after the game how it was. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I'll see him down there, and it's going to be a lot of emotions. There's no doubt about that.
What are you going to think if he comes onto the court? And I mean, is that going to be kind of an interesting feeling to have him on the other side?
Yeah, that'll be weird if he gets out there. That'll be strange. I'm guessing they'll probably try and post him up against our guys. So, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.